Let's get some facts. 37% of you aren't subscribed to this channel. That's almost 4 out of 10 just freeloading the alpha. So come on, hit subscribe and I promise to keep leveling up the show with the best guests and the juiciest insight. Go on, do it now.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Incredible day one of Breakpoint, and it's truly an honor to be here speaking and unveiling the rollout of Lightspeed. So Lightspeed is the industry's first investor relations platform built and designed for Solana investors. As the industry grows and matures, so do the participants within it, and therefore the way we need to communicate with those investors. The new wave of participants is really coming with a background and expectations around how they expect companies to be communicating with them, whether that's in the consistency at which that happens or the cadence, and the access to information around the financial health of the business or the core KPIs and how they're tracking their growth towards those goals. And the Solana Foundation wanted to deliver on exactly that in a differentiated and unique way, and in a very powerful way with the rollout of Lightspeed, which will help enable that communication. I think to answer the question of why now, I think it's very important to set some context around the evolution of the crypto industry. And I think it kind of rolls into three distinct phases, where the first of which being the sort of the bootstrapping phase. I think this is sort of hallmarked by the 2017 ICO era. This was like very retail-driven, a ton of fun. Anybody who remembers it had a great time. Anonymous founders, white papers in a dream. And while this was a ton of fun, it was largely uninvestable to institutional capital or serious capital in any capacity. And the transition into the scaling phase, or phase two, really occurred in 2019, 2020, when venture capital started funding these new and exciting ideas of the prospect of building on a globally distributed system and putting software on that enabled developers to get instant distribution to everybody in the world with nothing more than a smartphone and an internet connection. And that's kind of the dream that a lot of us came to love. And we really started to see exchanges and custody solutions start to professionalize and evolve and enable that serious capital to get involved. And as those early waves of projects started to see some levels of success and start to test product market fit, we start to see the evolution to phase three, which is where we're at today, where these businesses are generating real revenue and doing so profitably. And we're now starting to see the next leg of mainstream integration start to happen, where it's every day, especially today, we've heard a whole onslaught of several announcements around banks and large fintechs coming and building products on chain. And so when the marginal flows are no longer being driven by retail, but rather institutional investors that have these expectations of how to be communicated with when it comes to investor relations. It's now funds and pensions and asset managers and asset issuers. And so that is what Lightspeed sets out to deliver. And so not only for Solana and Sol, the asset, but also for the broader ecosystem. But focusing on the first piece there, we're covering the financials of the Solana ecosystem, right? And so understanding how network revenue is generated. What is the composition of that? How is it growing? What are the growth drivers there and available to the ecosystem? The on-chain activity. What is driving transaction activity in TPS? What do those transactions consist of? How would you categorize them? Stable coins, how are they growing? What types of stable coins are on chain? Where are they being used? DEXs and DEX aggregators. RWAs and lending is where we're building towards as well. So getting this sector by sector view and understanding of what is happening on chain. And not only for Solana, but also Sol, the asset. So the core drivers of the supply chain and staking rates are very important to understanding the asset itself, and that data will be available here as well. But zooming out beyond just Sol and Solana the chain, there's a broader ecosystem of applications being built on chain. So we'll have full data coverage of Solana and Sol tokenomics, as well as multi-product DeFi protocols like Jupiter, or DePIN networks like GeoNet and Helium, or the top Solana prop AMMs like SolFi and Humidify, as well as traditional DEXs like Radium and Orca. All of this data coming into one spot so investors have this full understanding of not only what's happening on chain, but within the broader ecosystem. And as these things grow and mature, so will the data coverage that we supply. So really, what I'm personally excited about is building out coverage of lending markets and vaults and liquid staking and RWAs. And we're rolling out our stablecoins view tomorrow Eastern time. I'm all messed up on which time zone I'm in. And not only will that data exist and be available to all the investors within this platform, but it will be importantly contextualized within reports and recent news coverage. So the best way to stay on top of what is happening on Solana is a Blockworks Research monthly note, which will now be available within this platform to help people understand the key growth drivers, the core KPIs, and the important upcoming network level changes that will impact those figures. And additionally, quarterly reports for Solana native protocols will also be available within the platform. So when these teams are now doing a better job of communicating to that investor group at that regular cadence, such as Radium and Helium, that will now be available within this platform, which puts everything, the data and the contextualization, in one spot for investors to fully understand the Solana ecosystem. So the product launches in Q1, and we're really focused on serving this for liquid token funds, institutional capital managers, or asset managers, asset issuers, and large individual token holders. And so we encourage you to apply. So head over to lightspeed.vip to apply today. Thank you.
So you obviously like this video enough that you've got to the end. That's quite a big task. But listen, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button, and also check out what video's next, because I think you'll love it. But if you want even more, and when I'm talking more, I'm talking about member-generated ideas, incredible alpha, research, everything there to help you in your journey, just head to realvision.com/join for the best financial intelligence out there and the pure alpha that's within the platform.